Are we recording? There we go. Okay, great. So welcome everyone. My name is Kaleen O'Connor. I'm joining you from Florida, USA. It's Monday night for me. And I know we've got people from all over the world. So if it's morning time for you, whatever it is, really want to acknowledge you for stepping away from your busy life to take a moment to join us. And our goal is that you will walk away having learned something that maybe you didn't know before you joined us tonight, and the time will be valuable for you. So just to give you a little orientation on how the night's going to go, I'm about to introduce, we'll have 2 live speakers, and then I'll come back at the end and share a few pieces of information on how you can take advantage of the resources we're teaching you about tonight. And then we will still have live question and answer. Obviously, we won't be able to see you, but you'll have the option to let our host Stevie know that you'd like to speak live, or you can put questions in the chat box. So as we're going through the presentation, if there are things that you would like to have clarified or that you're curious about, feel free to write those questions down, because we will have a few minutes at the end where we can definitely address them. And also then at the top of the hour, in about an hour, you're welcome to stay on. We're going to do what we do a weekly business training for those of us that are field educators and distributors of this incredible health breakthrough. So with that, I want to invite you to dive deep into the world of cellular health tonight. We're going to learn about incredible information and resources that restore the body's ability to heal and recover faster, so you can live longer, better, and stronger. And we're very privileged to have Stevie as our presenter tonight. He is a world authority on this health breakthrough, and just an incredible global entrepreneur and father and son and husband, and just all over incredible humanitarian. I've had the opportunity to work with him quite often, and even get to join him when we earn trips together. So Stevie, I'm going to turn it over to you, and thank you for taking the time to present to us tonight.
Well, no, thank you very much for having me here. And yeah, what an honor it has been to meet you on those trips. I mean, not only are they extremely fun, but, I'd say at the top of the list is who you have to become and what you have to do to get to those trips. And then probably a tied first place with that would be the people you get to know and befriend and work with on trips like that. So I'm so glad that I've met you, and I love you and Hamilton and the tremendous work that you do to support everybody. You're just a servant leader, and I really, really, really appreciate that. Folks, I want to jump into what I'm going to share with you as quickly as possible, because I want to get to a guest speaker as quickly as possible. And I want to get to you as quickly as possible. We'd love for this to be interactive. So if you have any comments, if you have any queries along the way, pop them in the chat box. And at the end, if you'd rather talk instead of text, we'd love to turn on your mic and just have you have a chat with us and pass on your comments and questions there. So what I'll be sharing with you is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. This is an exciting and entirely new frontier in science. So I promise you have never seen or heard of anything like this before. For 2 decades, in fact, science had declared that this was impossible. It is a breakthrough with enormous potential, which is proven by renowned universities and world authority laboratory medical studies. A very, very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, and drug companies wanted it shut down. I don't think they wanted you to know about it, but hey, more about that a little later on. Before I tell you what this is, I want to get absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. This is not a drug, not vitamins, not minerals, and not antioxidants or antioxidant formulas. It's also not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, central oils, magic sound club, waters, laser lights, roots, and magical 5,000-year-old trees, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets. Already have all of that other stuff out there. What we'll be talking about instead is an entirely new frontier in science. It goes well beyond nutrition. In fact, it goes well beyond any type of ingredients you already know about, because this is a truly groundbreaking and category creating healthcare breakthrough. ASEA Redox cell signaling technology. It contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, they are the exact same redox signaling molecules that are made by your cells. Redox signaling molecules are native to your body. Redox signaling molecules are the cellular messengers that affect your cell signaling, your cell-to-cell communication, and your gene expressions in a positive way. Your redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that allows your body to regenerate its own tissue and maintain health by detecting and protecting unhealthy cells. Detecting and repairing detecting and protecting healthy cells, I should have said, detecting and repairing unhealthy cells, and detecting and replacing damaged cells. So basically, your redox signaling molecules empowers your body to heal itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps your cells functioning and you healing at optimal levels. Why is this so important? Because we are all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. So healthy cells mean healthy life. They're the keys to life. Redox signaling molecules are essential for the function of our normal physiology. All biochemical and physiological processes in our body critically depend on redox signaling in and among our cells. I mean critically, because if all of our cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, we wouldn't live longer than a few more seconds. Without our redox signaling molecules, life ends. When we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have the energy to run around all day, go to sleep at night, sleep deeply like babies, wake up in the morning and not be sore. It's also how they can bounce back very quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and other environmental assaults, our cells break down and our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process that we just discussed becomes slow and sluggish. And as such, our cells break down even more. And with it, so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science very seriously and so doesn't do any scientific studies all on them they're lonesome, not by themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA Redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. Now, redox is based in Nobel Prize-winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published in the National Library of Medicine, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see there are well over 33,000 results. In fact, this slide is already out of date because it's very difficult for me to keep up with it. There's more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. On top of that, over 1,500 medical textbooks have been published on redox signaling molecules. So according to medical researchers, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. Let me give you a couple of examples of that. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and world redox congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead. ASEA Redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, so that translates to health at its most foundational level. ASEA Redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect your genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, that improves gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulates hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways that time doesn't permit us to go through right now. Now, on top of all this, ASEA Redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, the head professors of this university study have come out saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what they call disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, that is significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. It's safer than the water you drink. There's 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them anymore as it used to be able to when it was younger and or healthier. So if you have health challenges, or if you have people you care for who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young again, if you have the good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goals you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. And you don't have to take my word for it. On that note, let's listen to some medical doctors right now and what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries. But now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies. And this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken a bit about cellular health from the inside out, which can't be that easy to see, I want to show you what's possible from the outside in, a lot easier to see, and that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28 Revitalizing Redox Gel and Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. Now, these products are supported and enhanced by their complementary all-natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture paints 1,000 words. So let's let some of these pictures paint a few more of the words for you right now. And what you're going to see is more than anti-aging effects. In many regards, you should see age-reversing effects. Lines and wrinkles being smoothed out, elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, and other signs of poor health to the skin being rejuvenated, being renewed. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions coming back to the proper surfaces of the skin. Now, all of these pictures here are of the same person, Rosie. However, Rosie didn't see the dramatic differences that you're seeing, especially in the first two photos on the left, because Rosie didn't take these photos. Rosie's doctor did. In fact, that's who recommended ASEA to Rosie. So she got back to her doctor saying, this stuff is not working. The pictures painted a very different story, obviously. So moral number one of this story is when you get back to your family member or friend, naturally wanting to get started and naturally wanting to see how these products go, take pictures. That's how you see how they go. Don't be like Rosie and miss out on the moment by moment, day by day changes that are happening. Now, some people notice results very quickly like Rosie in 7 weeks or less. Some people in 7 days. We see lots of people notice results in about 7 minutes. However, other people need to apply more product, more time, more patience, especially if they've got more going on with their health. But what we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for it to not work in you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. This is Dr. Marty Moran, and he decided to do a scientific experiment on his very own face. And what he did was he used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other for 28 days. Can you spot the difference? Let me point out some of those, and perhaps you won't be able to unsee them. Have a look at the lines running down each corner of the mouth. What about the lines running down either side of the nose? And look at the cheeks. Do you notice any more definition in wrinkles on one side, or maybe even bunching up of the skin on one side as opposed to the other? Here's the biggest clue of all, I think. What do you think? The glasses slanting to one side of the face. Now, that might be suggesting more droopiness on one side as opposed to the other. I don't know. What do you think? Here's what I know. I'm very, very grateful for Dr. Marty Moran, because he walked around like this, like a weirdo for 28 days, just to prove to us how effective it is. So thank you, Dr. Marty. It's not just for your face, arms, hands, bellies, and even bums. Now, these are pictures from a study performed by a very renowned and world-leading laboratory. This scientific organization did this study because there were a lot of reports coming in from all around the world that people were seeing their cellulite disappear, and these people were attributing it to the time that they'd been using Renew 28. And so these scientists from this scientific laboratory, this leading laboratory, they set upon double-blind placebo-controlled clinical trials to see if there was any truth to these stories. What they found was there was in fact after 12 weeks, a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And so the scientists did ultrasounds to just try and discover why this was happening. And they saw that the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved post the use of Renew 28. And so Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture and smoothing the skin, supporting the skin surface cell removal for not just visibly younger looking skin, but healthier skin. Renew 28 also helps skin discomfort after things perhaps such as shaving and or sun exposure, things like that. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. Now, you can know if ASEA works in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, maybe your neck, shoulder, elbows, hands, fingers, hip, ankles, anywhere, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on that point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people we see will notice a soothing or reduction of that discomfort within approximately 5 to 10 minutes. What I want to do at this point, now that I've shown you some pictures, let's hear from a real person. Kaleen, can I please hand it back to you, and you can introduce a very special guest for us.
Absolutely. Thanks, Stevie. So we're going to have Dan Doyle come on live now. And I'm telling you, stories are what really make the difference. And it's Dan's story for me now almost 4 years ago that changed my life and my husband's life and our whole family. So Dan, thanks for being with us tonight to share how ASEA is helping you on a personal and business level.
Thank you, Kaleen. Great to be on here today, guys. Yeah, just thinking about my story. It's just hearing Stevie and putting it all together with what I went through, my journey from no health to health. I just get all these shivers and goosebumps running through me all the time. So I'm not going to hold things up because, as you know, Kaleen, we've got a very special guest on our next call. So we need to get to that, and we want to have time for Q&A as well. Guys, I'm going to go back to my photo. I don't want to distract you from the presentation, but it's not me, it's Alan Noble, because this is his platform. So here we go. But I am Dan Doyle. I did grow up in Sydney, Australia, and what this is all about is not selling anything to you guys or convincing anybody to do anything or buy anything. This is literally telling you our stories. So we don't sell, we tell, and we help people to also create stories so they've got a story to tell us as well. So we share our stories. Before I go into my story, I'm just going to go through the company disclaimer that these products aren't intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But as you heard from Stevie's presentation, we've got something pretty phenomenal. We've got a product, a technology, these amazing little molecules that can signal the body to heal itself. So let's get into my story. And I used to distract myself from school, which I didn't like, by playing a lot of sports and excelling a lot of sports, like this sport called bodybuilding. And this is a picture of me back in the early days as a young entrepreneur, having my own gym and starting in traditional business and wanting to be a product of the product. So I competed in bodybuilding. And over the next 20 years, from the age 24 here to the age 44, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses over 20 years, employing about 3,500 people. So let's fast forward 20 years to 44, not being a bodybuilder anymore, but still keeping fit and healthy. And this is coming to the end of my entrepreneurial days. And the reason for that, 6 months after this photo was taken, in 2011, the doctors gave me some very bad news, and we had to fire sale all our businesses and concentrate on my health, because I went straight into hospital in Sydney, Australia. I went through a horrendous time in 2.5 years, and what I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. This is a photo of me on the right with no hair from the top of my head to my toes. This is a young friend of mine, Johnny Manor, who played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He was 21 in this photo. He'd been through all those hospital visits that I started in this photo. After this photo was taken, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He never came out. We lost him at the age of 23 years old. Very, very sad time going back then to see and experience what poor Johnny and his family had gone through. So at the end of the 2.5 years of my hospital visits, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. And at that point, I made a decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And this is something that a lot of people don't do until they lose their health. We need to continually work on our health in all sorts of ways. And I thought I was, but unfortunately there was due to the environmental impact of what I did back a few years before, it had a massive toll, which was using the weed killer Roundup. And it unfortunately led me down the path of losing my health. So at the end of that, as I said, at the end of my 2.5 years, I was told to get my affairs in order, took the responsibility of my health back in my own hands, did some research. Research led to an alkaline diet. I cleaned up my diet. I went on a really good clean diet, spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from a lot of different companies around the world. 2 years later, this is the result, me trying to look after myself with my health. I can tell you, as you can see, I looked about 20 years older. My health was still heading in the wrong direction. I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. This photo was taken in 2014. A friend of mine reached out. He said, I think I found something that can help. Long story short, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah from Sydney, Australia. Started on this product, ASEA, their Redox cell signaling supplement. In 3 hours, toxins coming out of my skin with red spots all over my upper torso. A 20-year caffeine intolerance had gone away. 20 years of stomach discomfort and bloating. And in 48 to 72 hours, all the lung damage that I experienced from those hospital visits, and I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time, my lungs were functioning perfect. Fast forward, because I went back to Australia and I kept drinking this product, but fast forward 1 year, 2015, doctors gave me some really good news, told me there was no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away, and 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. So in 1 year, 2014 to 2015, my whole body had been rebuilt top to bottom. So that was my journey back to health. What about my journey back to looking and feeling even younger? 3 years on the product. And this is what these amazing little molecules do. They will get to our cells, and then our body knows where those cells are and what to deal with. You know, we have people coming to us and say they've got kidney problems and heart problems and liver problems, and we say, well, you don't have heart problem or liver problem or kidney problems, you've got a cellular problem. And if we can get to those cells, if we can get these amazing little molecules to those cells, your body, the body's going to know where the issue is. Because if those cells are repaired, destroyed and replaced, you're not going to have the problem that you're talking about. So it was an amazing journey from no health to health. As a byproduct of losing my health, it led me to this company, ASEA. And I say that the company, the business model which I adopted after 5 months, and I regret not sharing this with people for that 5 months. I was a bit selfish and kept this to myself. But it was the business model that saved my life, because if it wasn't for the business model that enabled me to share this with others, that enabled me to share it with people to help them and to receive thank you checks from the company from helping others, I wouldn't have had the money to invest back into my own health. So there's an incredible opportunity here on 2 fronts. One is ASEA is a vehicle that can take people back to their health potentially, no matter what they're going through. And the other is it can take people to wherever they want to go financially. So from living in a van 6 years ago and almost going to the Salvation Army for food stamps, we started sharing ASEA with people, and within 12 months we had the ability to travel the world and do what we wanted to do whenever we wanted to do it. 6 years on the product, 5.5 years later building the business, we have got an incredible life thanks to what these molecules have done for us physically and what the company's done for us financially. Virtus Norden and Tyler Norden have left this as their legacy to humanity. I'm able and got the ability to do the same, and that's what Stevie and Kaleen are doing on this call. They are building and leaving a legacy to people that they love and the people they can help. And we are also looking for anybody that we can help to also leave your legacy to the world as well. So with that, Kaleen, back over to you.
Awesome. Stevie, if you want to just wrap us up on more details on how people can share ASEA with others, that'd be great.
Happy to. All right, let me get it rolling here. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you and your story and leading me into now how I can show people how those thank you checks work, because folks, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. So there's a very big opportunity running in the background of all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. ASEA Redox is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for two simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, atomic medical physicist, has figured out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that it was impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented. But not only is it not allowed to be copied, it can't be copied. There's no way to look into a bottle and reverse engineer ASEA, because there are trade secrets in making ASEA. It can't be copied. And so that means we have no copycats. That means we will have no copycats. And that means we have no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has. No one, and no other product in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Redox works in everybody, on everybody. Nothing in the body works as well, or in fact at all, without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. Everybody needs redox. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, sport science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And again, ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from. ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. All right, here's how these thank you checks work that Dan mentioned. Our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help a lot of people. We can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing ASEA, sharing redox with others. So you receive an ongoing income, not only from the first purchase, but also from every single ongoing lifelong purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. And you can tell as many people as you want to tell. And on top, you also receive an ongoing income from the lifelong ongoing purchases made by every single person those people tell. And as those people tell people who begin to tell more people, look, just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, whatever, people tell people who naturally tell other people who then tell even more people. It's called word of mouth marketing. And it is not just the most ancient form of marketing, but still today the #1 most powerful and effective form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is in today's age. Word spreads worldwide. And again, you can tell as many people as you want to tell, and you can help those people do the same. ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening up new markets almost every single year. And based on the existing trends over the last 10 years, this is going to be $1 billion company over the next 5 years. Now, for people who are looking for an extra or part-time, or I just wish I had more time, or a full-time, or a big time, or maybe a legacy-leaving income for generations of loved ones, there are levels of commissions here to meet whatever levels of ambitions out there. For people who are switched on, smart, business-minded, for people who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, for people who are able to recognize a good thing when it comes their way. This is a significant opportunity to be paid a very significant residual income from the growth of this global expansion. But what is most significant of all is that there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. Maybe you'll agree with that. That's at least my point of view. What you get to do with ASEA, who you become, what you do for others is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make great money here, that's for sure. And you can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. You can have really great time, like Kaleen and I mentioned at the start of this, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, a really great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it's people that matter most. It's the effect that we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies there is. All right, so why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And maybe you are actually, because now there are hundreds of doctors all over the world now recommending Redox to their patients and seeing unprecedented results. But the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down and they wanted everyone taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in such a deal. Because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left those people and their doctors feeling hopeless to then experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And Virtus and Tyler, from seeing that, were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility. They felt the need to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they said no to the payout, no to selling out, and yes to the people. You see, what had started as just a big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. And so, as one of ASEA's guiding principles demonstrated in every single decision they make, ASEA always puts people and principles before ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and the corporate teams come from very big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds, and they are exceptionally experienced in running very big, very profitable, famous household name companies, but their corporate soul is also what makes them unique and truly first class, and they put people first. And so you're in very, very good hands. Please get back to the person who shared this with you. We're happy to answer any questions that you want, but don't worry about what the time is in your neck of the wood. The person that invited you here will be glad to hear from you, and let them know that you were here. Let them know what perhaps stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, don't be shy to ask them. We and or they can point you to where you can find the answers. It's very simple because there's plenty of university studies. There's plenty of proof in the pudding, most importantly, because there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences for you to very easily see that ASEA is the real deal. So if you don't mind me asking you, do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Start by doing it with just one person. And that person is you. Become part of this Redox reality and you can become more. And it's really what you become that determines what you can overcome, that ultimately determines your income in life. And what I mean by that, an income comes in many, many ways. But if you'll pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others. And your life will become better in many, many ways, as said by a very famous business teacher. Help enough other people get what they want, and you can have everything you want. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy. May you always be well. And nothing that I've said here has been intended to diagnose anything you're going through. And ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Again, thank you very much. And thank you for looking after us, Kaleen.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stevie. I'm going to quickly share my screen as well, just to wrap things up. Hopefully you guys can see that. And, I just want to say with absolute gratitude, the power of stories and our field educators, because It was just like you all that are guests tonight, again, about 4 years ago, that Dan Doyle and another good friend locally here in Florida took the time to share the magic of ASEA with me, and it's forever changed my life and helped me overcome a health challenge that I was struggling with for over 20 years. So this is just to kind of reemphasize some quick key points from both what Dan and Steve shared with you guys tonight. This just shows you again our product line. So with the idea that, are you ready to get started in terms of getting on your own ASEA product? This, you know, shows you the full line that that our biotechnology company offers for cellular health, starting with the drink itself. It's really important when you start to consume the molecules in their drinkable form in these beautiful blue bottles that you set the correct expectation. And this graph just gives you a visual of that. What we find is if you just go back to the person that invited you and said, oh, I just want to try a bottle, or I just want to try it for a month, it's actually better to not do that, because you can see that with just 1 week or 1 month, you're somewhere between 10 to even just 50% of perceiving a result in your body. We know the moment that you consume these molecules through our supplements, you start to have changes, but it's happening on the level of blood flow and genetic pathways. So you're not necessarily going to feel that right away. But if you give us at least 3 months, or let's say 90 days, I really say 3 to 6 months, depending on your health goal, then we have over a 95% rate of people really perceiving that the product and supplementing these molecules is making a difference, right? And again, you saw the phenomenal before and after pictures with Stevie, where we have the topical application of the molecules in the white tube to your right here, the Renew 28 gel, and a very phenomenal Kaleen anti-aging skincare line that complements the molecules as well, that you can take advantage of. And then finally, we do have a line of whole food nutrition. What I love about this is it's all from food, nothing synthetic, and each product has a built-in absorption complex that allows your body, no matter what your digestion or gut health, whatever condition that's in, you're guaranteed to absorb over 98% of the food formula in each nutrition line. So if that also interests you, make sure you take time to get your questions answered on that as well, okay? It's also important to make sure that you're buying from source. What do we mean by that? That means buy from the person that invited you to this webinar tonight and has been talking to you about the product, which means that you're guaranteed to get quality and purity. You're guaranteed that the product, when it comes to you, is not expired. You know that it's safe, that it's come directly from the biotechnology company that makes it. And you're guaranteed all the product support and education that we as field educators and distributors can offer you, including a phenomenal customer service that's open in every country where we share ASEA in the language of that country for people to get help. And also we offer an incredible 30-day money-back guarantee, and you become eligible for a program we have called Loyalty Rewards that you can earn free product and save money on your product. We say this because sometimes you might see the product on Amazon or eBay or third-party websites. You don't get any of these benefits when you order it from a website that's not directly connected to our company. Okay, so just an education point. So again, in closing, if you see yourself as a consumer, then there are 2 phenomenal accounts that you can order your product from. You can pay full price or wholesale, and then you can, you know, experience better health and live longer and feel younger. Or as Stevie and Dan talked about, you might want to build an ASEA business and share it part-time with whatever additional income opportunities you're already engaged in. With that, you do get wholesale pricing when you open up what's called an associate account, and you're eligible for special promotions, and you can get your product paid for and earn additional income. And then some people choose to replace their full-time income and really make this their business and even create a legacy for their family. And you can see it can bring incredible financial freedom when you do that as you build a global business, right? So again, we do have 3 different ways that you can order the product. You can get that clarified a little bit more tonight, or you can ask questions of the person that invited you. You can see when you buy wholesale through either the preferred customer account or the associate account, you do save 25% off the full price of the product. You also have, with the associate account, you pay a one-time equivalent of $40 US. So if you're opening your account in another country, it would be the equivalent of your currency. And then once a month, you just pay a $25 renewal fee to keep all the membership benefits. Okay? You know, so in closing, the key here is, you know, do you want to live longer, better, stronger. I kind of quickly skipped past that slide. I apologize, but I want to just leave you with a phenomenal quote from our founder, Vertus Norton. And he says, "We are all at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world." So this just really gives you an idea of the uniqueness of ASEA as a family, as our company culture, as a global team, and you can hear the passion and purpose that Stevie and Dan and myself and really all of our teams share of having the gift to improve people's lives around the world. So again, this fully wraps up our education part of our seminar tonight, and we've got a few minutes to answer questions. And you can put them in the chat box. And then Stevie, you probably saw a question about how a person can be able to unmute themselves, or how you help them to do that.